Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the M&J Podcast, where we give you business news, business insights, and all you want to know about business. And today I'm joined by Fadzai. Fadzai, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Golden. It's a pleasure to be here once again.
Thank you very much. And how has been your day so far?
It's been all right. It's been okay. We're surviving. We're trying to make ends meet.
That's definitely well. So today we want to look at different subjects. Still in the field of business. So we want to look at foreign investors that want to come into Zimbabwe and register their companies. Yes. Now we understand that our president has been saying Zimbabwe is open for business.
Yes,
so moving with that mantra, we now want to help our foreigners in understanding what they need to know about investing in Zimbabwe.
Okay, yes, indeed, Zimbabwe is open for business. Everyone should come and invest here.
All right. So maybe to start with, what are the key requirements that one, or maybe the legal requirement that a foreigner needs to have for them to start a business in Zimbabwe?
Okay. So for one to start a business in Zimbabwe, you should first register your company. So for company registration, we've got two types of companies that one can register. You either register as a foreign company where you're using the company documents from your native country. Let's say someone is coming from China and they want to invest here in Zimbabwe. So you use the company documents from China to get incorporated here in Zimbabwe. So suppose we've got Golden Investments from China. It will be Golden Investments China. And then if you get incorporated here in Zimbabwe using those same company documents, it will now be Golden Investments Zimbabwe. So you're using those company documents to get registered here. However, for this particular company, we also need you to have one local person, a local Zimbabwean, who is part of the directorship. Because for this particular company, we're saying you're maintaining your shareholding structure, you're maintaining your directorship, you're also maintaining your business objectives. But just for our indigenization policy, you need to have at least one local director. And then the second type of a company would be a private limited company. So for a private limited company, you can have 100% foreign ownership, but you also need to specify the names that you'd want to trade under, which will go through under name searching. Once you're done with the name searching, you submit the application where you're specifying the business objectives. Let's say you want to venture into mining or you want to venture into manufacturing. That's where you're now specifying. And then in regards to directorship, you just need to have at least one local Zimbabwean director who is part of the directorship. And then for the company address as well, you also need a local Zimbabwean address. So those are the two types of companies that you need to register. And then, the list is quite long. After the company registration, you also need to register with ZIMRA for you to get your tax clearance. So the initial taxes that you're subscribed for include pay as you earn, which is tax on the remuneration of your employees, and then income tax, which is tax on your profits. And then once you reach the $25,000 threshold, you're then required to register for VAT. When you're done with ZIMRA, you can then get to register with Zimbabwe Investment Development Agency, ZIDA, for you to get your investment license. Because for as long as you're a foreigner and you're investing here in Zimbabwe, you need that investment license. So for ZIDA, they're just there to regularize investment here in Zimbabwe, protecting the locals as well as protecting the investors. So there, they require you to have at least 100,000 minimum investment that you're going to be investing here in Zimbabwe. So the minimum investment can either be cash that you're going to inject into Zimbabwe, or it can be machinery that you're going to bring here into Zimbabwe. So there, they require you to have your company documents, your tax clearance, your business plan. In some cases, they may require police clearance, but it's quite rare. And then once you're done, you can then open your corporate bank account, and then you're good to go. You can then get to subscribe for industry-specific licenses later on. But just for the initial setup, those are the documents that are needed.
All right. Thank you very much, Fadzai. And maybe looking at in terms of shareholdings, are there any restriction in terms of foreign shareholdings, and are foreigners allowed to enter any industry in Zimbabwe? Okay.
So it depends on the type of industry that you want to venture into. In regards to foreign ownership, there is no law that stops you to have 100% foreign ownership. It's just for the directorship where you need to include at least one person. But we also have other restricted industries like trading in motor spares, your transport and logistics, your barber shop, your retailing. Those are just restricted for Zimbabwean locals. So what happens is we have also had instances where foreigners are assisted by a consultant who doesn't give them full advisory, and they're told that you can register any company. They register their retailing company, but then when you now want to obtain your ZIDA license, they'll then tell you, they will reject it, citing that this industry is specifically reserved for locals. So these reserved sectors are just there to protect the locals, such that we also have a stake in the economy where we've got full control and where we can actually do whatever we want as the native Zimbabweans.
All right. I understand that one.
Good morning, boss. You're glowing today. New perfume, eh? Yes.
No need to say I've already cleaned your decks twice.
No, that's okay, young man.
Okay, see.
But to lunch, boss. No need to pay me back.
No, that's okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Wow. Odu has done it again. This is wonderful news. Wow. We will enjoy today.
When you use Odoo Payroll, payday is no longer a nightmare. No manual calculations, no late payments, no stress. Just peaceful, accurate, and happy employees.
So maybe in terms of the documentation that one needs for them to register in Zimbabwe as a foreigner.
Okay. So during the company registration stage, we'll need your passport. It should be a valid passport. We'll also need your ID. And then I think those are the things that we need on the initial stages. Of course, you then need to supply your names, your business objectives. But in terms of documentation, it's just your passport and your ID. For tax, it's the same. They'll just need your ID. However, when you're registering for tax, for you to have, you need to appoint what we call a public officer. The person will be communicating with ZIMRA. So for the public officer, you need to appoint a Zimbabwean local. So one of those directors that you would have appointed on the local directors would be then your public officer. And then from there, for ZIDA now, for the investment license, they'll need the full company documents, the tax clearance, the passports of these foreigners, their IDs. At times they request for police clearance, but it's quite rare. They'll also need you to have a business plan. So in the business plan, you need to specify exactly what you want to do here in Zimbabwe, how you plan on doing it, what type of investment do you plan to bring, how much profits are you expecting, how many locals are you also going to employ who are Zimbabweans, and foreigners that you're also going to deploy.
All right. And so as a foreigner, are they allowed to open local bank accounts?
Yes,
and how do they
are.
go about the process?
Okay, so once you're fully registered and you also have your investment license, you can then approach your bank with your full set of company documents, and then you can open your corporate bank account. All you just need to be sure of is you've got your valid investment license, your ZIDA, and then your company documents clearly show the ownership in terms of shareholding as well as directorship. So they're free to open with any bank. There are no limitations there.
All right. What about in terms of import regulations and local partners? How do they handle that? How can they best suit that?
Okay. So in regards to importing, we don't necessarily have much regulations. Why? Because what we are trying to promote is investment. But what you need to be sure of is when you're importing, there is need for you to do what we call customs activation with ZIMRA. So customs activation is basically saying that you're activating your TIN number, your taxpayer identification number, such that you can import anything here in Zimbabwe. So it simply means that your consignment is linked to the company. This way, they're just making sure that whatever you're declaring is also linked to the imports that you're doing, and it's communicating. And they also want to know who is the person behind this consignment. So in regards to import regulation, there isn't much there. People shouldn't fear coming to Zimbabwe. It's open for business, like you said. So don't fear investing in Zimbabwe. Come through, you can import whatever you want, but you just need to oblige in regards to customs regulations.
All right. Interesting. Yeah, indeed, Zimbabwe is open for business.
Yes,
so maybe as professionals in this industry, what are some of the support services which you are offering these foreigners for them to operate smoothly and register in Zimbabwe?
Okay, that's fine. So initially, we start right from the business setup, where we are assisting you with the company registration, the compliance, statutory registrations. But we're not just ending there. Where we are now coming in as consultants is to give you full business advisory, because we have had foreigners that are misinformed. They're told that Zimbabweans should own at least 50% in your company. But this is actually a myth. It's wrong. So we give you full business advisory, and we're quite familiar with the fact that most foreigners do not know much about our economy. They don't know much about our statutories. So we're now assisting you in regards to statutory management. That is your tax return management, your NASA registrations, because for as long as you are an employer in Zimbabwe, you're mandated to register for NASA. So we're helping you with such registrations as well as return management. Basically, everything to do with compliance, everything to do with accounts, or even business strategy. Because when you're coming here, of course, you might have the capital, the financial muscle, but Zimbabwe is a different economy altogether. So definitely you would need a strategy to maneuver, be it a market strategy, sales strategy, or overall business strategy. We are there to actually assist in regards to that.
Oh, thank you very much for that. So lastly, do you have any advice to maybe a foreigner who's watching right now and considering to come and invest in Zimbabwe?
Yes, definitely. So what I would want to advise foreigners that wish to invest in Zimbabwe is indeed open for business. Please come through, invest here. The economy is quite lucrative, and our regulations favor the foreigners. They're not really against your investment. So please come through. We'll be there to assist you every step of the way, right from setting up your business to compliance. We are there to assist you. Basically, I'm saying we are your perfect business partner.
Definitely, M&J, the perfect business partner. That is a ring to it.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Fadza, for coming through. Hope to see you again next time.
All right. Thank you so much, Golden. It's always a pleasure coming through and giving people insights in regards to business.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it, the M&J podcast. We've been looking at foreign investment into Zimbabwe. Now, before we go, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section. Tell us what you think about this topic. See you next time.